The comments from black women was highlighting his race.
I got you.
Right?
Okay.
A race of a man that they don't even know his name.
Right.
Right? They don't even know how much he's worth. Okay? They don't know nothing about him.
Right.
But they're quick to say how white men treat black women, and some will go from their own personal anecdotal experience and say, yeah, this is true.
And that's why I said it depends on every individual experience.
Greetings, welcome to another Coco Convos. I am your host, Just Your Thoughts, and my co-host over here.
Nikki says YOLO.
Yes, so you know what? Today's topic it's about interracial relationships. So I came across a post on Facebook, and it was about Venus Williams and her engagement to an actor, Andre Pretty. And I came across a comment. I will read to you what the comment said. And this comment to me was a bit alarming. All right, so it says, one thing about a white man that loves black women, he loves everything natural about her, from her tresses to her toes, and embraces it. I love that. I think many of us can agree, and they aren't talking about a woman's lashes, hair, feet, etc. They go hard when they go in 100%. Now, what comes to your mind when you went with that comment?
Okay, so I'm a black woman, and based on what I've never dated outside of my race or my ethnicity before. So I can only speak based on what I've seen in the media, based on friends who have dated outside of their race. But based on what I have seen in media, it does seem like opposite races do tend to appreciate the black woman more. That's what I see. Well, okay, so for example, I was gonna research the Love Island. There was a interracial couple. It was a French guy and a black woman. And the thing is, on Love Island, I'm gonna find it to show y'all the clip. On Love Island, she was wearing, I think, like her, little lace front wigs and all that stuff. But they had a great synergy and energy on the show. So when they moved along in the show, and then when they got more closer, she took off the lace front wig, and he saw her natural hair for the first time, and he was just in awe of her natural presence, how she looked. He was drooling over her, and he was like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. Not saying that black men don't do that. Not saying that they don't do that, but based on what I've seen in the media, based on what I've seen, it does seem like the opposite race do tend to appreciate the black woman more than black men.
All right, I'm glad that you say based on what you see in media.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
Because we don't necessarily control, black folks don't necessarily control majority of the media that we're seeing.
Right.
Now, when I saw that comment, the first thing that came to mind is white male worship or white male fetishizing, right? So, and I say this because, was it necessary to bring up his race? When you're highlighting somebody's race as being a key figure aspect of love, right? I think that's just fetishizing a race. I think that's just making, or white male worshiping, right? Why can't it just be this one man? Because historically speaking, I would say majority of white men aren't like this.
Well, I can say the reason why the media tends to highlight races when it comes to interracial dating is because it's media. It's interracial dating has been an issue going way back to the Jim Crow days, right? It goes way back. So it makes the story more juicy. It makes the story more dramatic. It makes the story more enticing, right? There's a lot of headlines nowadays that says first black this or first black that or first Asian this or first Asian that. They don't have to put the race in the highlights or the subject line, but they do it because again, you have your majority and you have your minorities, and technically minorities are pushed to the bottom when it comes to being successful, when it comes to being wealthy, when it comes to being beautiful, right? Can we at least agree on that part? So what I'm saying is, when it comes to the media, they tend to push that race narrative because it's just a good story. It's a good story.
Well, but here's the thing, like because I see far more black relationships that are successful, that are thriving, that are loving, that are respectful of one another. I see more of that, right, with my own two eyes, right?
Yeah.
However, like when you look in terms of interracial relationships, out of all the white men that are married, only 3% of them marry black women. So
You said
there's
3%.
only 3%.
So there's 3% of white men that marry black women,
White men that are married, right?
and the women are black.
That are married, only 3% of them are married to a black woman.
What about black men married to a white woman? I'm sure it's a high percentage, right?
It's about 8%.
Okay, it's higher.
It's about
Right.
8 to 10%.
Okay.
But the point here is, right, that's a very, 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 very small sample size.
Mm-hmm.
Yet that small sample size pretty much create this perspective where a black woman can come online and state one thing about a white man that loves black woman: he loves everything natural about her, right? Like, and to me, that is painting a broad paintbrush of white men in general that just love black women. To me, that is not true at all, because you're taking a 3% sample size, and within that 3% sample size, there are many of them that does go through divorces, many of them that find out that, oh wow, you're actually kind of racist, right? Many of them that have gone through all types of problems, every types of problems that you can think of in relationships, they go through it as well.
Right. There's small sample sizes, and every person have their own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And their experiences may only be through what they see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're able to formulate and on their own and get their own perspective. Now let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
What about a black man dating a white woman? Would you give it the same
I would look at it the same,
perspective as
right?
a black woman and a white man?
I would look at it the same way, because, like, if you find love outside your race, more power to you.
Right. So all
Right?
about love. Love has no color.
More power to you. If a black man was to focus on the race of this woman, right? Or if that black man was to now talk negatively of black women,
Which they have.
right? But
They
this-
have spoken
but
negatively
thi-
about
but-
black women.
But this is the same scenario where you have black women talking negatively about
Exactly.
black men, right?
Exactly.
So and I think that it's equally foolish and stupid to put your own group of people down, the people that you actually came from, look at another race and saying, oh, they're better, when historically speaking, they have not been better. Like, when you look in terms of how black women in general are portrayed in media in general, black women are overly sexualized. Black women are portrayed as angry, loud, sex, ignorant. That's what is normally portrayed. But who controls these media entities that portray black women as such? It ain't us.
It ain't the black community.
It ain't the black community. Yet somehow when we see a white man, loving a black woman, we don't necessarily see a loving couple. We see, oh, look at this white man, because when white men love black women, they just go all in.
Well,
I just think that's
Robert
ridiculous.
De Niro, like, I feel like his love for I think they're divorced now, but I do believe that you do have white men where it's genuine and they love their black queen, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and of
But it
course,
doesn't mean that it's what you call it, white man.
white man fetishizing or white man worship.
Yeah, I don't see it as that. It's called white men fetishing. What do you call it?
I'm saying that it's just fetishizing for white man, or just white man fetishizing, or white man
fetishizing. Did I
Right.
say it right? White man fetish.
You say it well enough. We understood, right? So
Okay, so white man fetishizing a black woman, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying that black women are fetishizing white men,
Oh, based on a comment.
or black women worshiping white men.
Okay, so so in the case with Venus, do you think that she's worshiping a white man,
Well, I would,
or based on that comment from that?
based on that comment,
Okay,
right?
okay.
I think a lot of black women subconsciously worship white men.
So
right?
you think a lot of black women subconsciously worship white men?
Just like there are black men that subconsciously worship white women,
Okay.
and I say subconsciously because it's beneath their own,
Because they don't
personal
even know about it.
awareness. They don't even know that they're actually worshiping this person, because they're making a group of people seem to be better than other groups of people, instead of looking at the individual. When you make it about race, you're taking away from that individual. And I'm pretty certain that Andre Petty and Venus Williams, they're a happy loving couple, and I don't think that Venus, I don't know if Venus choosing him because she strictly want white men.
We don't
right?
know, but
I don't know. I believe she's dated black men. Right?
So have Serena, her sister, and
Yeah.
Serena's very happy with her husband.
And both of them now with a white
Yeah,
man,
right.
So, but yet, black women seems to have a problem when it's the opposite. When a black man is with a white woman, it's
Well, there's more black men with white women versus black women with white men.
women generally want white men more. White men are more attractive, like in general.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing, or is it based
It's-
on every individual's?
I think it's based
You know-
I think it's based on media and our social structure, which because when you look at television, when you look at movies, right, white men are always the alphas. White men are always the ones dominating.
That's what
White
we
men
see
are
in
always
media.
the one power, making all of the power moves. White men have power, and of course, people are attracted to power. So subconsciously, not just black women, but women of color or just women in general look at white men as being better. White men are actually the most wanted group, and then as far as men is concerned, and then it comes to black men.
Are you saying every black woman thinks this way? Because
No, I'm saying generally, in general,
In
not
general.
just. I'm saying
Okay.
in general, the group that most people want, like that women in general want, whether they're Asian, Hispanic,
Okay.
black, white, whatever. White men are the most attractive group, right? The second to that is black men.
to some black women, not all, but to some.
I would say in general, meaning to everyone in general, white men are the most attractive group. Period. In general.
I don't agree with you on that.
No,
but
it's not my opinion. That's not an
Okay,
opinion
okay.
here. That is based on statistics where they're saying who is the most attractive group, right? When it comes to race.
and it's white men.
And it's white men.
Do y'all? Okay, well, I know you said it's based on stats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how big that sample size was. I would have to disagree with you on that. Y'all, let us know if you agree with those stats. Maybe the sample size was probably 5 or 10. Whoever did that experiment, but I really don't agree with that. That's just me. There's a lot of interracial relationships. You have your white interracial, Asian interracial, you have your Hispanic interracial when it comes to, black being the foundation or being the base. And I really do think it's genuine. I feel like it is real love. I don't see the black woman fetishizing
Yeah.
the opposite race. I feel like probably they did date within their race and it didn't work out. So they said, you know what? Life's too short. I'm gonna go outside of my race, and they found love there, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, okay. So the studies as far as like who people desires most, that comes from dating apps, where when you look in dating apps, white men actually get the most likes compared to the most swipe. What is it? Swipe right?
Swipe. I think it's. I've never
Right,
been on a
left?
dating
I
app,
don't
so I
know,
think
but
it's. Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So and second to that, of course, is black men. Then
And then the trickles down after
And
that.
trickles
Hispanic,
down.
probably Asian. After
Yes,
that, Native
yes,
American.
yes.
Okay.
And as far as women is concerned, I believe Asian women is the most desirable women, right?
It's
Asi-
because they're easier.
No,
The
no.
passport brothers love the Asian women. Is that
Look,
why?
I can't.
Because with these dating apps, you got to be careful because maybe it's a dating app with benefits and
Well,
you pay for the benefits.
well, as far as desirability, right? Like most men desire Asian women, preferably.
Black and white, all men
Men
from
in-
all races prefer
men-
Asian women.
Men in general, right? So and that is based on who gets swiped right the most, right? As far as women is concerned.
Do you think
right?
it's because of what's going on with the whole Asia being the continent that has the most escorts or pay
No,
for sex, passport brothers?
No,
They're
no.
easily more accessible when you pay for their services
No.
because outside of the Hispanic countries, Asia is also different countries where men do pay for sex. It's easily accessible for them to get sex from those countries in Asia. So what I'm saying is these dating apps, it's a mask for prostitution. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of these dating apps, it is a mask for prostitution. And Asia is top. Thailand is one. Asia is a top, I don't know what country, but I do know that in Asia, some parts of Asia,
I don't think
prostitution is really high.
I don't think
I watched a few
prostitution.
documentaries, and there's a few top countries on the list for prostitution with passport brothers traveling overseas to get some poom poom.
Okay, prostitution has nothing to do with this.
Well, maybe that's why the swipes are higher on the dating apps.
Okay.
It's easier for them to hook up that way.
No,
it's a
no,
mask.
No.
Okay.
No. We're speaking about desirability, right? So white men is the most desired.
Are
right?
these apps able to differentiate versus
Hold on a sec.
prostitution or
Hold-
if it's genuine?
Hold on a sec, right? Because the reason why Asian women are considered the most desirable women is not because of prostitution. Most men don't want prostitutes, right? Most men don't want that. Most men are not trying to wife up a prostitute. Okay, most men are not trying to take a prostitute.
But there are
and say,
some men
"Mom."
on dating apps where they're not ready to settle down.
We're speaking about general.
But you
okay?
said dating apps. Then
Yes,
you shouldn't mention dating apps
a lot.
then.
No,
That's
dating.
That's like
no,
bad to use.
absolutely not. Because
Dating apps. Did you not read I've watched documentaries on dating apps. It's not like people. There are men on there just looking to hook up.
Okay, granted, all right. However, there's people that are on dating app that are actually looking to find somebody. The reason why Asian women are considered most desirable is because Asian women pretty much are considered the most submissive of women, right? When it comes to because men are looking for more submissive women.
Has the passport? Isn't that a part of the passport brothers?
Um,
Okay, as far as the passport brothers, don't they feel that the women, certain women of
okay.
certain races are very alpha, they're not submissive, and they go abroad to get that? Isn't that part of the passport brothers objective?
Hold on. That is two different things here. Passport bro, right? They go to places like Colombia.
But
they go to places
why
like
do they go there? But what do they say
pla-
about women? They say the women over here are not the same, but abroad, especially in Asian countries, they're more submissive.
Let's hold on a sec. Colombia is not Asian.
I didn't say Colombia.
I'm saying Colombia.
Oh.
I mentioned that, right? Passport bros, where do they travel the most, right?
They go to DR, go to Colombia, they go to Thailand. They go. I could look it up right now.
It's not. Well, I'm not speaking about passport bros per se. Let's stick to the topic here.
But that could be the reason why a lot of Asian women get a lot of swipes on the dating apps. Dating apps are just masks for hookups and prostitution.
Definitely can be, and it has been used for that. However, not everybody is on there.
Passport bros often offer favorite countries in Southeast Asia: Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam,
Okay.
Cambodia.
Southeast Asia and Latin America.
Yeah.
Okay?
So Philippines. So number one. Number one is
this is not stating number one. It's just giving.
yeah, but no, Southeast Asia and then Latin America,
Okay,
right?
so it's showing you
Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. Then Latin America is Colombia, Brazil, DR, and Mexico.
Yes,
and then it trickles down into Kenya, Ghana.
Suburbia,
Russia, and South Korea.
Okay, so
But Asia is we got the top countries up in there.
But what these places have in common, right? They're non-American, and the women there are considered submissive.
Because of the culture.
And the women are considered more submissive, right? So
because of can we say because of culture?
Okay, fine. But the topic of today is about fetishizing the white race, right, or white worshiping, right, where you do have women, black women that divest from their own culture and prefer white men and saying that white men are better.
That one comment.
No, it's not just one.
Well,
comment.
You said there was a comment about Venus.
That was the comment that grabbed my attention, right?
Right.
But there was far more other comments that pretty much are stating the same. That stated exactly what you said, right? Based on me, they're not saying based on media. You mentioned based on media.
Their own experience.
But what you said based on media is the reason why. They're not saying that. However, what they're saying is they're generally making a blanket statement about white men that love black women, right? And saying this, and having other black women that are hearing this, that haven't experienced black women, that haven't experienced white men, right? It can be. I don't think it's the right message. Right, because the reality is, right, men of all races can be dangerous. Men of all ethnic groups can be dangerous, right? So you should never look at a race of a man to make it seem as if he's better, he's going to love more, he's going to protect more. Because there's another side of that. This is my personal opinion, okay, where I think that a lot of black women that moves into a different race, their behavior towards that race isn't the same as their behavior towards somebody black. Okay? And the same for black men, where how they treat a black woman is totally different than how they treat a white woman. Right? So and same for even a white man. How that white man treats his own white women may be different from how he treats black women. Right? And a lot of it may due to racial stereotypes and trying not to fit within a stereotype. So they're very careful. They're kinder. They're nicer. Right? They're more, they're more submissive and willing to listen. Where within their own group, they're not doing any of that. That is my personal opinion. Right? Because when you look at it, black men, generally speaking, about 80% of their marriages is to black women. Okay, of the black men that are married, they're married to black women. The extremely successful, the wealthy to the poor, right? So black women, you got it best with black men. But now when it comes to most desirable and least desirable, the least desirable woman that society has deemed as least desirable
black woman.
Is black women.
Right.
So white men in general is not looking for black women. And I'm speaking generally, right? Not to say that, because of course there are many white men that loves black women and they only date black women, right? But that's their preference, as there are black men that only date white men because that's their preference. However, black women, your better chances is with black men because black men still wants you in large numbers than anybody else, than any other group of people.
Well, I just think, again, it depends on that individual person's experience with relationships and what they've been through.
I agree with that, right? What they've been through. But however, how are they actually looking at themselves within that experience? Are they checking to see how they were, their behaviors, right? Because they see a white man and thinking, okay, you know what? They may switch their behavior because these same women, right? They have issues at home within their relationships, but they go to work and treat their boss and treat their job with respect. They know when to shut up. They know how to behave, how to talk, how to carry and conduct themselves in the workplace. But they go home and they forget all of that. Now, they probably go into the other group on the other side and behave the way they know how to when they're at work.
But why does it matter?
Well, that's something that they should ask themselves. Well,
what's wrong with that? Why did you say that black women should go to the black man? Because there's a lot of black men out there that wants. I mean, I get what you're saying, but what is wrong with a black woman finding love in a white man?
I didn't say nothing was wrong with that.
No, but you said earlier that
I said black women have a greater chance of finding a better chance of finding their lover with another black man. You have a better chance. If you're looking for love, you have a greater chance there. Now, if you're just going to cut black men off, period, and try to find a white man, good luck. Your chances is much lower.
That didn't cut off a black man completely.
No, you have black black women that does.
Look, love is love. Okay, let me ask you this: does it matter what race, and do you feel like certain races or even ethnicities are more scrutinized than others when it comes to like interracial relationships?
Black men are mostly scrutinized.
If they're dating like a white woman versus an Asian woman or Hispanic woman, or it doesn't matter at all?
Okay, so they're mostly scrutinized if they're dating a white woman, less Asian, even less Hispanic, right? And not scrutinized at all when they're dating black women. The ones who's doing the scrutiny is, of course, black women. Like for instance, Michael B. Jordan, when he was frolicking with white women, they were just mad at him and like, what is wrong with him? And then he started dating the sister, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter.
Harvey.
Right? Lori Harvey. And we forgive you now.
So he's more scrutinized. So a black man is more scrutinized if he's dating a white woman, then Asian, then Hispanic.
Yeah, and it's often the black men that a lot of black women do not want or don't find attractive, right?
So you're saying black women do not find Michael B. Jordan attractive?
Remember, Michael
when he was up and coming, is what you're saying.
Before he was up and coming, Michael B. Jordan was considered a goofball to some black women. Okay, there was a black woman on radio that literally said that about him. I don't remember if she said goofball, but it was something to that degree, right? So when like for instance, what's Alfonso, the guy that playing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Black women, like let's be real, right? That type of black man, right? Black women aren't necessarily attracted to that type of black man.
Why?
Okay,
Because of his features?
his character.
Is he too white? That's
There's
why?
no, he's not. There's nothing too white
So
about
what?
him.
So tell me, like, break it down for us. What, like, break it down for us.
Well, basically his character, right? You could tell me better because I'm not a black woman. I can't tell. I
Right.
can't speak for a black woman in terms of what type of black man they like. I just noticed that black men that resembles that Carlton type, right? The square type, right?
Like Russell Wilson, they say he's square. So you're saying that Michael B. Jordan is like
He
a
was
square.
he was a square
But Russell
type.
is married to Sierra, who is a black woman. So there are black women that do love their
before
squares.
before Russell Wilson was with Sierra, he was married to a white woman.
Okay.
Right, so Sierra kind of gave him a little swag because he didn't.
Okay, but he's a black man that gave a black woman a chance. Like what you said earlier about black women giving black men a chance.
Well, but here's the thing though, right? Like, look who Sierra was dating before Russell Wilson.
Future, I get that.
Future, she was into the thug type of
Right.
black men.
Right.
Okay, Russell Wilson is the complete opposite of that. The Russell Wilson type, all right, majority of black women aren't attracted to that type, right? His character, how he carry himself, right? Very square, very, he's not the gangster, the thug. He doesn't sag his pants.
Not
He-
all
he
black
don't-
women want a gangster or a thug that
I'm not
have
speaking,
saggy
of course.
pants.
Look. You'll never hear me speak about all, right? If you
Okay,
gonna
so
say
you should
all,
say like some
no,
certain black women or some black women.
I said majority. Okay?
So you think the majority of black women like men that are more edgier, more street, and more hood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Majority of
Okay,
black women.
so-
Majority of women, period, love a more edgier man.
Okay. So Jonathan Major, he's married to Megan Good, who is black.
And
He-
and
I
you
mean,
saw the hate Jonathan Major was
but
getting
he went
from-
to a black woman after.
and the one black woman who actually gave him a chance, and she was receiving hate from women because she's dealing with Jonathan Majors, right? And why was Jonathan? We know Jonathan Majors did not do what they say he did to that white woman. However, they didn't care. They did not care. They wanted his career.
No,
to
but
be,
they roasted him because
course.
of him seeing a white woman. So maybe
black
that's why.
women roasted him.
Right. So maybe that's why he switched and dated a black woman.
Look,
we'll never know, but he got roasted for dating a white woman that put him through, the roller coaster that he went through. Then all of a sudden he flipped and now he's with a black woman.
I don't think he made that decision based on race. I think,
okay.
yeah, I think. Look, this is the thing with men, right? Men will get what they can get. If a white woman is
regardless of the race or
regardless
whatever,
of
he'll get
race or
whatever he can get.
He'll get what he can get, right?
Okay.
And also your environment, your circle, like the people that's around you. If majority of the people around you is of the opposite race, then there's a great chance that you're going to be dating somebody of the opposite race,
Okay.
right? So, but if your circle, it includes, a certain group of black people, and with like Megan Good and Jonathan Majors, they end up connecting, and she end up being a solid rock for him.
And it could be the same, vice versa, for a black woman.
No, absolutely.
Dating outside of her race. It goes both ways.
Absolutely. My issue is, right, because I don't have an issue with interracial dating at all, right? There's nothing wrong with that. My issue is when the race of the person you're dating become the focal point, right? When you're focused on his race as if the race has something to do with that person's character, with that person's behavior.
I agree with you on that.
And
Yeah.
I think that is foolish because when you're mentioning race, right, in regards to somebody's character and how they treat you, I think that's just white worshiping, right?
Well, when you say they, it's for example the comments that you that you read, and also media. If you're in a public spotlight, even if you're just an average everyday person, people do tend to scrutinize, or they do tend to like hone in on interracial relationships. It's just a part of life.
But it's a part of our
So
social.
it is going to be spoken of till till the earth ends. It's gonna keep happening.
Well, no, this is a part of our social construct that continues to utilize race as a way to keep us divided, right? So, for instance, they could have said, you know what, this guy Andre Prady, I just love how he loves on
Right, but the
on
media
Venus
loves
Williams.
clout, so they're going to like pit us against each other.
But here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing: the man that Venus Williams is engaged to, black women don't know who the hell he is. They don't know
Why
nothing.
does it matter?
It does matter because you cannot be talking like it does matter, right? I
I
can't.
don't care. She's in love. She's happy. I don't
Look,
care as long as we don't have a lot of time left on this planet.
But here's the thing, it does matter because it literally shows where you're speaking from. It shows where your mind is at, right? Instead of saying, you know, I just love how this man.
Media. In the comments.
No. That
media's who's highlighted he's a white man, and the comment
no
from
media.
that woman.
Hold on a sec. The media didn't even highlight that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
The
you
media
said
didn't highlight that, right?
they just said Venus is engaged and that's it. But then the
That's
comment
it.
was
The
from a black
comments-
woman.
The comments
Okay,
from black
okay.
women was highlighting his race.
I got you.
Right?
Okay.
A race of a man that they don't even know his name.
Right.
Right? They don't even know how much he's worth. Okay? They don't know nothing about him.
Right.
But they're quick to say how white men treat black women, and some will go from their own personal anecdotal experience and say, yeah, this is true.
And that's why I said it depends on every individual experience. That's what it depends on.
But here's the thing, though, right? Like, it's understood, it comes from individual experience, but we have to be a little bit smarter than to take personal experience as if that represents the world in which we live in, because it don't.
Right, exactly.
Okay? It don't, because like I mentioned, only 3% of white men that are married to black
And 8%
women.
of black men are married to white women.
Now, I
Don't forget about that part as well. It goes both ways.
what's that again?
8% of black men are married to white women.
Yes.
And 3% of white men are married to black women.
Yes,
All right,
yes,
there we go.
yes.
So both sides are doing it.
But here's the thing, right? One thing black men don't do, black men don't go ahead and condemn black women. I don't see it as much. Maybe there are some out there.
I have seen black men
Maybe there
condemn-
are some out there. Listen.
They call out black women for dating outside of their race because they
Listen,
get condemned for doing it.
Listen. Look, there are some Umar Johnsons out there that will, like do that, right? However, you don't see that many or as much as black women. When you see a black man dating when you see a black woman dating a white man, there's not that many black men that are just saying, "Oh, how dare you?" What you don't have as many black women putting down the sister for
Because within our community, it's the norm for black men to be with white women.
No, it is
it's
not.
normalized.
No. Okay.
It is the majority when it comes to black men versus black women. The majority of black men tend to date more white women compared to black women dating white men.
Okay.
It's like normalized.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to athletes. It's pro athletes. It is definitely normalized.
No, but here's the problem here. It is not the norms. It is not the norm. The norm would be the 80%. That's norms. 80% of black men are married to black women. That is normal. Okay? So 90% of white men are married to white women, or 80 between 80 and 90, somewhere around there, right? That is normal. It is not normal that black men marry to white women. That is not norms. However, because of media and how media controls and condition us and how
that's what I said earlier, media. Right.
So basically the problem here, because like for instance, I'm gonna tell you exactly my response to that comment, right? I kind of lost it there. Oh my goodness.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. So basically, my response, I remember some of it was, why can't we simply acknowledge a loving couple that is loving each other? Why must we bring his race into the matter? So basically, I just like I said from the get-go, right? I just think that it's ridiculous that we have to highlight the person's race and opposed to looking at the character of this person, versus looking at the race of this person. Because when we highlighting race, right, then what we're saying, right? If I'm saying that, if I'm a black man, and I would say something, you know what, the way white women love black men is unmatched, right? Because they just love every aspect of them, right? In a way, that is somewhat white woman worshiping. Okay, because without even saying it, I am saying that black women don't love white women the way don't love black men the way white women love black men. In a way, that's what I'm also saying without even saying that. Okay, so I'm acknowledging a difference here by pedestalizing one group over the other.
Right, but again, I hear what you're saying, but you cannot generalize every black woman to think that way.
No,
Not every black woman thinks that way.
I'm
So based on the comments and based on real life experiences, we can only put it back to what that individual person, what their experience was with dating within their race and outside of their race. To each its own, right?
yeah. I mean,
And it depends on their own individual experience. That's what I'm going to end it with.
Yeah, and I'm not saying every, right, because every time you mention every and all, you will always be wrong. Okay,
Right.
so there was never every.
So for
right?
those that have that mindset, so I think you should probably reword it.
No.
For those that think that way.
I think I've read it correctly. I
Okay.
don't think I've misspoken. You know, I'm simply saying like anyone that, because I don't know the percentage of black women that are doing that, right? Or even the percentage of black men that are doing the same thing with white women. I don't know the percentage. I'm simply saying that anyone that is acknowledging the race to point that out within a couple, then you know you're some in a way you're worshiping that particular race or fetishizing that particular race, in opposed to actually looking at a loving couple.
Right.
Because what I'm going to look at is this a loving couple.
So based on what I've seen, Hollywood or not, I do feel like there are loving. So based on people I know that's in interracial relationships, especially white and black relationships, it is genuine. They love each other. The energy is there. It's not based on worshiping the other race just because. So I do feel it's genuine. And for those where it's not genuine, it's just not going to work out. I mean, it's obvious. So for the ones that I have witnessed, it's genuine. It's pure. They have a family together. They have children together. They're one big happy ass family. And that's all that matters to me. You only have one life to live. So
And for those that I've witnessed, some of them some of them have been unalived by their loving husbands.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Some, you know, and
But we
that's
can't pull
some
all of them into that.
No, we're not pulling all of
Right,
them.
okay.
I'm simply pointing that out to show that their relationships ain't different from
same as a
any
black man and a black woman. Black women
yeah.
and black men could be unalived as well.
Listen
White women and white men could be unalived as well.
Let me finish making my point. What I am saying here is that the reason why I mention that is to show that these things happen in every race.
Right.
So
whether it's in your race or outside of your race, it can still happen.
It is pointless to acknowledge a race as being a specific way towards one group of people, especially given the history of how white men have treated black women in America historically. White men generally have never respected the black women, especially not the way that black men have respected the black women, okay? Generally speaking. Of course, there are outliers out there that actually love black women, and shout out to you outliers out there. I know you are out there. I know some of you personally, okay? So this is nothing against you, but if we're going to speak about this, we must acknowledge that love is love regardless of race, and we should not make love about race, especially given the history that we have had here in America and even the world.
So on that note, chime in. Let us know your thoughts and your feedback, your comments. Let's do it. Again, Nikki says YOLO and
Just your thoughts.
two coconut heads. Peace.
Peace.